Hello, you are watching the Job Search Process and Interviewing Workshop, a North Central Programs workshop. This workshop has been created and recorded so that you're able to go at it at your own pace. You're able to pause, take time to reflect, write down notes, replay, and really make sure that you're getting the most out of this workshop. Before we begin, it's important that you have the following handouts. The first one is called the job search process. The second one is called interview preparation. If you have not gotten these, please reach out to your case manager and they will be able to provide you with these. To get started, we're going to watch a quick video on self-worth. A link should pop up on your screen. You're able to click that link and watch this short video, and then come back to this video, and we will continue working through the workshop after you've completed watching this video. The job searching process can be scary because it creates a lot of unknowns, but it can also be very exciting if we're able to refocus and shift our mindset. We're going to begin with the job searching process handout, so make sure that you have that with you. We're going to start at the beginning at the top of the sheet. I want you to reflect and think on time that you took a chance during a job search and it ended well. Now we're going to define self-worth. Why is it important? Why is it something that we're talking about? And how can it really help you as you're preparing for job searching and the interview process? Self-worth is how you value yourself. It's not based on what others think of you or other people's expectation, things that you have or have not accomplished. Your self-worth really comes from within. Your self-worth is how you're able to remind yourself of the value and worth that you bring to the world, regardless of any external factors. Having a high self-worth is really important as we're approaching the job search process and beginning to interview. So take time to reflect, and on the bottom half of that top worksheet, write down 3 strengths that you would want an employer to know about you. We all have value and worth that we bring to the world. Sometimes we just need a reminder. So take time, really reflect. What are 3 things that you know that you are valuable for and that you have that worth to bring to an employer? For example, you have great time management skills. Really reflect on what makes you you and where your strengths come from. Having a high self-worth is really important. So we're going to give you 2 ways to start to improve your self-worth. The first one is having compassion for yourself. A lot of times when we make a mistake, our first impulse when we make a mistake is to reflect on what we did wrong or where we may have made a mistake. However, when other people make a mistake, we're more likely to embrace them with compassion. So it's important for us to reflect on how we can start to really shift that narrative in our head and start to have more compassion for ourselves like we do for others. The second tip is to forgive yourself when you make a mistake. We all make mistakes and it's okay. You didn't sign a contract when you came into the world saying that you would be perfect, and no one else is expecting you to be perfect. So it's important that you really try and focus on not beating yourself up when you do make a mistake or you don't meet the expectations that you set for yourself. These are an opportunity for you to learn and grow. How can you embrace these mistakes or these failures and really reflect on how you can grow from them? Starting to have more compassion with ourselves as we make mistakes and navigate the world is a great step to reminding ourselves of the worth and value that we have. So what does self-worth have to do with the job searching process? Why are we talking about this? If we're able to improve and increase our self-worth, we will be more likely to be able to confidently apply for jobs knowing that regardless of the outcome, you can still be confident in who you are. Knowing that no matter if you get a job or not, whether an interview goes well or not, what jobs you are applying for or what jobs you may be working, your self-worth and your value is not changed by that. When we have a self-worth, we're also more likely to apply for jobs that excite us. We're not held back by a fear of failure. We're excited at the possibilities and the opportunities that could come when we're able to embrace ourselves and remind ourselves that even if we take a chance and it doesn't work out, we're still going to be okay. Having a high self-worth also allows us to really embrace the opportunities to take chances. So it's important for us to really focus on the self-worth that we have and how we can really use it and tailor it to our own strengths during the job search process. On the bottom half of the job searching process worksheet, I want you to take time to really reflect. Is there a job that you really want to apply for but you're scared to? You don't have anything to lose by applying, but so much to gain. You have the opportunity to learn and practice, the opportunity to connect with others and learn more about yourself. So really reflect on a job that you're scared to apply for. Write that down and then take time to remember and realize, why are you scared to apply for this job? What is holding you back in this, and where is this fear driven from? And then at the bottom, take time to think of 3 steps that you can take to apply for this job. What are action steps that you can take on your own or with the support of your case manager to help you get closer to achieving your goal of applying for this job? How can you help yourself take those steps to begin to overcome that fear of failure or rejection and embrace the opportunity to learn and grow within this new position? We're now going to shift into the second worksheet that you should have, titled Interview Preparation. As we prepare for interviews, we want to really focus on mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. How can this be helpful to us as we prepare for an interview? When we prepare for an interview, a lot of times we begin to feel nervous or anxious. Our mind starts to race, our body starts to react to our stress, and we're probably not fully present or aware of what's going on, our body language, how we're communicating with the people around us, and we've become very reactive and maybe not thinking as logically as we normally would. We're going to go through some benefits of practicing mindfulness. Although this can be really important in helping us as we prepare for a job interview or a job application, this can also really benefit us in our overall well-being. It increases our immune function, our awareness and clarity of mind. Our mental and physical health are connected. When we take care of our mental health, it's going to trickle down. It's going to help our immune function. It's going to help our awareness of what's going on in the world around us, help us think clearly. We will increase our compassion, our working memory, and our information processing speed. When we're more present and attentive to what's going on around us, we're more likely to retain the information that's important and put it into memory. We're more likely to be able to process information quickly. Thinking about if you're in an interview and someone asks you a question that maybe you weren't prepared for, if your brain is much quicker to process the question and start to reflect and complete an answer, it's going to benefit you in that stress level reaction and in your interview success. Mindfulness helps lower our heart rate and our blood pressure, especially when we experience anxiety and stress. Our heart rate and blood pressure increase greatly, and it's not good or healthy for our well-being long term for those to be heightened. It also helps us lower the bias that exists due to cognitive shortcuts when we skip around quickly or we read the directions too fast because we're feeling nervous. It really can be negatively affecting us. It also helps our emotional reactivity. When we feel stressed out or anxious on edge, we're much quicker to react from emotions than we are to react when we are fully thinking things through and processing. And finally, practicing mindfulness helps improve our mental health, our mental functioning, our patience and productivity, and our relationship satisfaction. All of these factors together help improve our general well-being, and it's important for us to be taking care of ourselves as whole beings. On the worksheet, I want you to take time to reflect on this list and select 3 benefits of mindfulness that would help you as you prepare for an interview or would help you as you begin a new job. Please write those down on your worksheet. The next concept we're going to talk about is changing the story. Our brains are set up to jump to the worst case scenario. A lot of times when we feel anxious or stressed out, this is the first place our brain goes. What we need to do to help ourselves re-regulate and become more attentive and present in what's really going on is reminding ourselves of how we can change the story that we're experiencing or that our brain is telling us and put ourselves back in alignment with reality and what is actually going on. When we prepare for an interview, it can be easy for our brain to tell us that we're not qualified or they won't hire us or we won't do well in the interview. What we really need to do is take more perspective and remind ourselves that this person offered you an interview. This means that they see the value that you have to offer. They know that you're qualified and they want to continue to get to know you better. They would not take the time to interview you if they did not know that you were qualified and that you could do this job. Also reminding yourself that although an interview can feel intimidating, it's also a really great opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to connect with your interviewer and potential employer, and for you to show them the skills that you can bring to them, to show them the unique value and worth that you have as being a human being, and how you can bring this to their workplace. Something that can help us as we prepare for an interview is to help rewire our brain and put ourselves in a positive mindset. One way we can do this is as you're preparing for an interview, either the night before, on your way to the interview, as you're waiting to be called into the interview, is to repeat some phrases in your brain and in your head to remind yourself and remind your brain that you are qualified. So please repeat these phrases after me. I am qualified. I am confident. I am valuable. If these phrases don't resonate with you, feel free to pick your own. Find something that really boosts your self-worth and your confidence in your ability to be successful. And remind yourself that the more that you tell yourself this, the more that your brain will start to change the storyline that it's telling itself. And that's important to helping us be successful and go into an interview feeling confident and knowing the value and worth that we bring. Another strategy that we can use to help us prepare for an interview is practicing a mindful minute. What is a mindful minute? A mindful minute is taking 30 seconds or a minute before you go into an interview or any other situation that might give you anxiety or make you feel nervous, and allowing your brain and body to connect and re-regulate and calm. We can practice taking mindful breathing by sitting down with your back up straight. You can rest your hands on your legs, and you can either close your eyes or lower your gaze so you're not distracted by things around you. Focus on taking deep breaths that fill your lungs entirely for the count of 4. Hold your breath for the count of 4. Breathe out entirely for the count of 4. And hold your breath for the count of 4. You can repeat this as many times as you feel it's helpful for you. But by slowing down our breathing, what we're doing is we're slowing down our physical response to stress. It slows down our heart rate. It slows down our blood pressure. It allows our mind a moment to disconnect from all of the thoughts that are swirling around. It allows us to refocus our mind and go into a situation with a clear head. Really imagine yourself succeeding. Remind yourself that you are confident and capable, and see this as an opportunity to really show your skills to this potential employer. On the back side of your worksheet at the top, I want you to reflect and write down 3 reasons that an employer should hire you. Really reflect on the value and worth that you bring to the world, and focus on 3 reasons that you are the most qualified and that this employer should want to hire you. Not only is practicing mindfulness and mindful breathing beneficial as you prepare for a job interview, it has a lot of other benefits as well. It helps improve our sleep. It allows us to process what we're worried about throughout the day and start to slow our brain and our body down so we can prepare for the essential sleep that we need. It helps us cleanse our lungs by fully inhaling and fully exhaling. It helps our lungs clear out and really get the air that we need. It helps us lower our blood pressure. It helps reduce anxiety and pain. We're more attentive. Our body and brain are constantly communicating with us. And it's really important that we take time to listen to what our brain and body are telling us. It also stimulates brain growth. Our brain needs oxygen to grow, and it also needs time to be attentive and focused on what we're learning throughout our day. It improves our working memory and allows us to really start to retain information that's important to us being successful. And finally, it lowers our stress levels. When we're taking longer, deeper breaths, it helps our body feel physically less stressed, which reminds our brain how we can start to de-stress from this as well. As we finish up, I want you at the bottom of that worksheet to reflect on which of these strategies you're going to use before your next interview. Our hope is that one of these coping skills and strategies connected with you and that you feel like will make you more successful as you approach your next interview. And remind yourself why it will benefit you. Why is this something that you want to practice for your next interview? Why is this something that can be helpful for you? As a reminder, the strategies that we talked about today, you can practice and they will benefit you outside of just preparing for an interview. So it's important that you begin to practice these in your everyday life and really build them into your routine. The strategies we shared with you don't take a long time commitment to practice. They're things that you can do with 30 seconds or 1 minute throughout your day. It's something that you can start to build into your processing and build into your routine to help yourself start to re-regulate your brain and body and give yourself the wellness that you need. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to reach out to your case manager. We also encourage you to bring the worksheets that you completed today to your next meeting. Go over them with your case manager and really utilize them as they want to help support you in your success. Thank you for taking the time to watch this.